Factorization, Problem 1. Today we're going to start talking about factorization, prime factors, and working with different number sense problems, all about that. Now let's start off with some warm-up questions. How many positive factors does the number 60 have? When we are being met with a question like this, it's often easier not to list out every single factor, but by first writing out the prime factorization of a number. Although 60 isn't a terribly big number, this can be a really tedious task when we are being asked to do this with much larger numbers. 60 is equal to 2 squared, which is 4, times 3 times 5, and this is proper form for prime factorization as we have ordered all of the factors by their base from least to greatest. So if we're looking at the different factors that the number 60 has, it could be any combination of these main prime factors, a 2, a 3, or a 5. It could be any combination of these numbers or only one of these numbers. So we do this by looking at their powers. For the first base, we have 2 to the power of 2. So we know that when looking at factors, each factor of 60 could either have 0 2's, 1 2, or 2 2's. Therefore, there are 3 options for this. How many 3's do they have? Well, they can either have no 3's or 1 3. Since there are 2 options, we multiply that by 2. And for 5, they could either have 0 5's or 1 5. So that would be 2 options as well. Multiply this together, we get 12. So there are 12 factors that are in the number 60. Now you can even proofread this by going back and actually listing out each factor pair. You'll see that there are actually 12 factors. Now let's look at the second warm-up question. Find the sum of the factors of 320. How many positive divisors of 2020 do not also divide 1010? Let's first look at the prime factorization of 2020. So 2020 is equal to 2 times 2 times 5 times 101, which would be, if we just make this more simpler, it would be 2 raised to the second power times 5 times 101. And what is 1010? Well, this is equal to 2 times 5 times 1001. So the numbers that we are looking at here either have to be greater than 1010, or they have to not include any of these. So one way we could do it is have it have more than 2, right? The only difference we see here is that 2020 has an extra 2. So therefore, 4 would be one factor that 2020 has, but 1010 does not. Now any multiple of 4 from here works. So we could do 4 times 5, which is 20, or 4 times 101, which is 404. Or we could do 2020 itself, which is 4 times 5 times 101. So in all, there are 4 positive divisors or factors of 2020 that do not also divide 1010. So that is our final answer.